Brothers and sisters of the African continent, friends from across the globe, welcome once again to Voice of Africa, the channel where Africa's light shines brightly and where the story of progress, innovation, and resilience takes center stage. Today, we gather to celebrate a moment that will forever be etched in Africa's history. Ethiopia opens Africa's largest hydroelectric dam, a project that is not just about energy, not just about infrastructure, but a bold declaration of African strength, independence, and unity. This is the story of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, or GERD, a mega-project that has captured the attention of the entire continent and the world. Rising proudly from the banks of the Blue Nile, it stands as Africa's biggest hydropower facility with a capacity of more than 5,100 megawatts. To put this into perspective, this single project has the potential to double Ethiopia's electricity production and supply power to tens of millions, while also exporting energy to neighboring nations. It is more than concrete and turbines. It is a living monument of what Africans can achieve when vision is matched with determination. For decades, the energy story of Africa has been one of shortage and dependence. Frequent blackouts, unreliable supply, and costly imports of fuel shape the reality of many households and industries. But today, with the inauguration of the GERD, Africa is writing a new chapter, one that speaks of abundance, self-reliance, and progress. The lights are turning on, factories are powering up, and communities are connecting to the grid in ways never before imagined. What makes this achievement so inspiring is not only its size, but its story. The GERD was built primarily through the determination and sacrifices of Ethiopians themselves. Ordinary citizens contributed through bonds and donations. Civil servants gave part of their salaries. For more than a decade, Ethiopians rallied behind this project as a symbol of sovereignty and pride. They built it not with dependence on outside aid, but through their own collective strength. Each drop of water flowing into its massive reservoir tells a story of resilience, hope, and national unity. The dam itself is an engineering marvel. Standing 170 meters tall and nearly 2 kilometers wide, it holds back a reservoir known as Nile Lake, meaning Lake of Dawn. This vast artificial lake, storing over 74 billion cubic meters of water, is larger than the city of London. It is from this lake that the dam's massive turbines generate power, transforming the natural flow of the Nile into electricity that will fuel homes, industries, and futures. With 13 turbines installed, its 5,150 megawatt capacity makes it not only Africa's largest hydropower plant, but also one of the top 20 in the entire world. The impact of GERD is already profound. Ethiopia, a nation of more than 120 million people, has long struggled with energy shortages. Many households remained off-grid. Industries were often slowed by power cuts, and development was restricted by a lack of reliable electricity. But with GERD fully operational, this reality is changing. Millions of Ethiopians will now gain access to affordable, renewable power. Factories will operate more consistently, hospitals and schools will run without interruptions, and small businesses in rural towns will finally have the chance to grow. Beyond Ethiopia, the benefits extend to the wider region. Neighboring countries such as Kenya, Djibouti, and Somalia have already shown interest in importing Ethiopia's power. By selling surplus electricity, Ethiopia strengthens its economy while fostering regional integration. Imagine an Africa where nations not only share borders, but also share energy, opportunities, and growth. The GERD is a step toward that vision. It is Pan-African cooperation in action. The economic advantages are equally significant. With GERD producing renewable electricity, Ethiopia reduces its reliance on expensive fossil fuels. This keeps billions of dollars circulating within the national economy instead of being spent on imports. It creates thousands of direct and indirect jobs, from engineers and technicians to transporters, suppliers, and service providers. The project also stimulates industries that depend on stable energy, from manufacturing to technology, agriculture, and beyond. At a continental level, GERD marks Africa's entrance into the global clean energy conversation. Hydropower is renewable, sustainable, and vital for climate goals. By harnessing the mighty blue Nile, Ethiopia is showing that Africa is not only keeping pace with the world's energy transition, but actively contributing to it. As the planet shifts away from fossil fuels, Africa is positioning itself as a hub for renewable energy innovation. And yet, beyond the technical and economic aspects, the GERD carries a weight of symbolism that cannot be ignored. For Ethiopians, this project is more than infrastructure. It is a source of unity and pride. During times of political divisions and internal conflict, the dam became a rallying point, a reminder that despite differences, the nation could stand together for a shared dream. For Africa as a whole, it is proof that mega projects once considered impossible on this continent can indeed be achieved. Internationally, the GERD has attracted attention not only for its promise, but also for its controversy. Downstream nations, especially Egypt and Sudan, have raised concerns about water security since the Nile provides over 90% of Egypt's water needs. Egypt has described the dam as an existential threat and called for binding agreements on how it is filled and operated. These tensions highlight the challenge of balancing national ambitions with shared resources. But despite disputes, Ethiopia has pressed forward, determined to realize its vision while continuing dialogue with its neighbors. Importantly, so far there have been no major disruptions of water flows downstream. At the inauguration ceremony, leaders from across the region attended. Kenya's President William Ruto called the GERD a beacon of African ambition. Leaders from Djibouti, Somalia, and beyond echoed this sentiment, emphasizing their eagerness to import power. For Africa's youth, the event served as an example of what determination and vision can achieve. It told them that they do not need to look outside for inspiration. They can look to their own continent. The symbolism of timing is powerful. Across the globe, older dams and power plants are being decommissioned. Facilities in Europe and Asia, built decades ago, are closing. Yet in Africa, a brand new hydropower project of global scale is rising. Where others dismantle, Africa builds. Where others slow down, Africa accelerates. The GERD represents not decline, but dawn. Let us also reflect on the name of its reservoir, Negat Lake, or the Lake of Dawn. This is more than poetic. It captures the essence of what this project means, a new dawn for Ethiopia and for Africa, a dawn of energy independence, economic resilience, and continental pride. The GERD also serves as a classroom for Africa's engineers, scientists, and planners. Young Ethiopians trained on this project will carry their knowledge into future endeavors, inspiring a new generation of builders and innovators. For students of energy and development across Africa, this dam is a real-life model of what it means to dream big, design boldly, and build with persistence. Imagine the ripple effects. With reliable power, Ethiopia can accelerate industrialization. Entrepreneurs will have the confidence to expand their businesses. Students will study under steady light at night. Hospitals will run life-saving equipment without fear of blackouts. Farmers will use irrigation systems powered by electricity from the dam. And across borders, African nations will trade energy and strengthen bonds of cooperation. Brothers and sisters, the Grand Renaissance Dam is not just Ethiopia's project. It is Africa's project. It belongs to every dreamer who believes that the continent's time has come. It belongs to every young African who wonders if we can compete with the world's biggest economies. It belongs to every village waiting for the first switch of electricity to light up their homes. This is more than hydropower. This is dignity. This is independence. This is Africa standing tall. As we celebrate this historic milestone, let us remember that GERD is not the end, but the beginning. Across the continent, Africa is rising with high-speed railways, solar parks, technology hubs, modern ports, and universities of excellence. Together, these projects weave a new story of Africa, a story of strength, creativity, and progress. Ethiopia's Grand Renaissance Dam stands today as a lighthouse guiding us toward that brighter future. It reminds us that no project is too ambitious, no vision too distant, no challenge too overwhelming. Africa's destiny is in our own hands. Long live African innovation. Long live African resilience. And long live the spirit of progress that continues to rise across our beloved continent.